And what's good, YouTube? It's Supreme J here. Now, I didn't goof, and I had my GoPro in the wrong camera lens view, and so we got to record this video again. All good though. Today, we are going to be reviewing the Curry Retro 1 Curry Jam colorway. Now, this was done in collaboration with the old game NBA Jam. I think I played that on my iPod when I was younger. It was a really fun game. I'm sure some of you older folks played it a lot more than I ever have. And let me start off with my first gripe of the shoe. Considering that it's All-Star Weekend and it's a really cool collab, I do think that they could have got a little bit creative with the shoe box. Now, I know that some influencers got sent out a 2-pack with the Flow Trail 4, and they did get a special, double box. But even for the regular retail, I feel like we deserve to have a special box for it. But obviously, it's just a box. It's all good. What does suck though is that mine came damaged. But yeah, so this is the box, standard Curry 1 box. Let's move on to the shoes. So here is the shoe, and we're going to obviously go into the performance of the shoe if you've never hooped in the shoe before. But first, we're just going to simply talk about the looks of the shoe. So starting things off, we have a nice icy blue outsole. Now this, when I say icy, I mean icy. Like, this icy blue is more blue than like your standard like Jordan 11 outsole, or that you see on other shoes. And I really like that from Under Armour, because I feel like their icy soles last a lot longer than on like Jordans. And obviously that's kind of irrelevant if you're going to play in them, but that's just something that I noticed. Coming into the midsole, you have the orange right here, and obviously like that matte finish, and then you have a nice hit of glossy red right here, and that is featured on the inside and the outer side of the shoe as well. And then you have a black heel tab right here that's done in a glossy finish as well. And then what makes the shoe really cool and unique is the upper, of course. So you have this fireball, like fire effect on the shoe that's, I don't know, like I'm guessing like screen printed. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, it's just on there. And you have the yellow Under Armour logo. Now on camera, it kind of looks like the Under Armour logo blends into the fire, but like if you're holding it in person though, you can clearly distinguish the Under Armour logo from the fire effect, which looks cool. You also have the old school Curry logo right here, and then it also says Curry 1 right here. On the tongue, you have in that same yellow the old Curry logo. The laces, they're black with the yellow specks. And another cool part of the shoe is the inside of the shoe. It's done in like that static TV type look, and so I think that that's really unique as well. And it also does say I can do all things right here on the shoe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do know that the Curry 2 had, the OG pairs had I can do all things right here. I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to say I can do all things right here. Now I know that this has been a while that Under Armour has removed it, but I didn't realize that they still kept it right here on the inside of the tongue, so I think that it's interesting that they decided to not put it right here. Now whether that's for certain reasons or that's simply for budgeting, I do think it's a little bit weird, because they do charge $150 for this shoe. So yeah, now let's go ahead and re-look at the shoe, but talking about performance. So starting off with the traction of the shoe, this shoe features some pretty good traction. It's not the most amazing in the world, but it's definitely better than some shoes out there today, like like the Tatums or like the Zions. And it's going to give you a little bit of a squeak depending on how clean the outsole is. The right pair for me squeaked more than the left pair when I was hooping in them, which obviously squeak doesn't matter, but that's just to know, because I know a lot of people do like squeaky hoop shoes. The weakest part of this shoe is definitely going to be the charge cushioning that's on it. As far as like the stepping comfort and like the running comfort of the shoe, it's not bad, but obviously there's better options out there. Like if I had to go and run up and down the court in these or the KD15s, I would pick the KD15s. But yeah, overall, it's not terrible, but it's definitely just the weak point of the shoe. And then when you come up to the upper of the shoe, it's obviously done in like this plasticky material, but it does have a lot of holes poked out for ventilation, so your foot's never going to get really swampy in it, which is nice. And then you also have this hard plastic heel tab right here, which is going to offer some more support. And obviously another very durable part of the shoe. And then the tongue, this part of the tongue right here is like a just a mesh tongue, but then the bigger tongue flap right here of the shoe is in that same plasticky material. So like I said, overall a super durable shoe, and I think that that makes these great for hooping outdoors if you want to. Um, when it comes to the support of the shoe, given that it does have, you know, such a stiff upper with this plasticky material, I mean, you're not gonna really, these things aren't gonna fold on you. You know, they're pretty stiff. Not in a necessarily bad way, and I do appreciate it because another good thing about this shoe is that it is a high top shoe. Now I know a lot of people like low tops nowadays, but it is nice to hoop in these once in a while and get that high top feeling. The first time that you hoop in these, if you've only ever hooped in low tops, it's gonna feel weird because you're not gonna be used to this much ankle support. But I do appreciate it, and you know, when I have the shoe on, and you know, my foot, you know, my ankle's a little bit, you know, bent like this or whatever, like it just bends naturally with your foot, which is surprising given how stiff the upper is. But you don't really notice how stiff it is when you're playing in the shoe. And I think that that's a really good thing about the shoe, is that you don't notice how stiff this material is when you're playing with it. So it's just flexible enough that it's not like you feel like you're freaking stuck in a cast, but it's sturdy enough to offer great ankle support, which obviously Curry had, you know, a lot of ankle problems early on in his career. And so obviously the lockdown going up this high is going to be great. You're probably going to have to relace here and there with this shoe, like, you know, tighten it a little bit, just because I feel like since it does go up a lot, this part, you know, your leg and foot kind of moving this tongue around a little bit can kind of loosen up the laces if you don't tighten them tight enough. But that's something very minor. And also another good thing is that where the ball of your ankle is, basically, it has like these puffy, really puffy cushions, and so it really just makes it a nice experience to be locked down in there, and it is really comfortable. As far as the fit goes, I would say go true to size. The one thing that you might want to keep a lookout for if you're someone that blisters easily is double socking. Now, for me, in the Kobe 5 and 6 Pro and the Zoom Freak 5, I do not need to double sock. I don't get any blisters, even playing long durations of time. I'm pretty much good. But when it comes to the Curry ones, the Curry twos, the KD 15s, shoes like that, I do have to double sock or I blister for whatever reason. Like, and so with that being said, let me know what you guys think about these shoes. If you guys picked up anything from the All Star Pack from Curry, and make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.